circles. It takes it a minute. Good morning and welcome to the Good Morning Podcast with your favorite host, Sherry Lord. And I want to tell you, we have an amazing guest today. She's very special, and her topic is how souls are shifting with energy, frequencies, and vibration. By the way, I hope you're having a great day and you're having a nice hot cup of tea and coffee along the way as well as I am. I love living with water. And we want to introduce Susan G. Chamberlain. She has a PhD. She's intuitive spiritual coach, mystic, teacher, healer, angelic guide, reverend, and author. I didn't know you were an author. Her PhD is in holistic theology, also the founder of Spiritual Holistic Services. Also a certified FHOD food healing oracle deck reader. She has level 1 and 2. I'm telling you one thing, she's also certified in intuitive food therapy. I didn't even know you did that. I know you had the oracle decks, but I didn't know you had the food therapy part of it too. That's very interesting. Welcome, Susan. We're so happy to have you. And she's been at our Light Consciousness Expo, and she was fully booked all day. I was watching her. She was very popular at our event. So we have a wonderful topic with her. Welcome, Susan. And we'd like to know, everyone watching, please chat with us. Come on, join us. We want to hear you. We want to see you. We have a chat person here. We're going to bring them right on. Oh, we got Beth Perry from Michigan. Welcome, Pat. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, Susan. So good to have you here, hon.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say a small prayer.
Yes, we love
rest
prayers.
in the moment, rest in the space, taking a full breath in, breathing in as the living breath of God, and holding that grace. And then exhaling all the bountifulness of the universe as I thank Mother, Father, God for all that is, for all that we are, as we celebrate life in oneness, in unity consciousness, moving forward in these times. So I want to thank you so much, Sherry Lord, for inviting me to your podcast. I'm very honored to be here. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my soul heart for your gratitude and grace. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We're so happy and excited and lucky to have you. You know, you're a very busy woman, and you have so much knowledge to share with our people that are watching and those who are listening. We ask everyone, please just say hello so that we know you're here. And we like to share with our viewers a little bit about yourself or what I have not mentioned that you might want to share. And we're going to go right into your topic, how souls are shifting with energy, frequency, and vibration. It's a good topic.
I kind of work from the angelic realm because I literally had to get my own wings to fly many years ago, over 20 years ago, to make that factual. I had to heal myself. I had an issue come in, and of course, God knows how to get a hold of your soul by shaking you into your intuitive gut to wake you up, to snap you out of where you think you're going, to replace you on your soul path, allowing me to reach higher frequencies and vibration, allowing my body to heal body, mind, spirit, and soul, because in that oneness makes all wholeness as we do our journey here on this planet. Because without all those bodies in sync, you will have trouble, because we do have 4 bodies. You have the physical body, which we can all see, then the emotional body is right outside of that, then the mental body, then the spiritual body. So there's actually 4 bodies to our oneness.
Wow.
When we start to realize that, when you go on a path to heal yourself, or put it this way, put yourself back into balance, you have to work through all those bodies because they are all part of you. So I had to do that journey. I had to do that journey because it aligned me for this journey. And I did work in a hospital for over 30 years, literally over 30 years, because that was my calling. I felt very much like Mother Teresa serving patients. because that was, again, my calling. And I was spiritual, but I could feel the essence of God every time I met with a patient. It was, you could feel the grace. So
Mm-hmm.
now I've transferred that into my spiritual work
Ooh.
and allowing that grace to come in, because by the grace of God, we are all here. And we live by that grace, because without that, your life would be very flat and dull and probably not working very well.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer not to do my journey that way. I like to have God very present. In ancient times, God was present, and they lived by energy, frequency, and vibration, because that's important in all those bodies. And as the planet is now, we're in the ascension, literally. I mean,
Yep.
1987 was the harmonic convergence, and
Yep.
that was when 50% of the planet was half
Mm-hmm.
light. So when it's light like that, the planet Gaia automatically starts to ascend. We are, and it is a process, and we're in that process. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, when you look at the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages and the Renaissance and all these things that the planet has gone through, these shifting times, we're in a shifting time. And everyone that's here signed up to be here. Even if
Yes.
it feels
Mm-hmm.
hard or not,
Yep.
they did sign up to be here during, this is, we're creating history, because the planet's never done this ascension before.
Mm-hmm. It's all new. Yep.
Yep. And once she does go up, not going back down.
Mm-hmm.
So all souls on the planet will be shifting for this vibrational occurrence, because it's going into a 9, like the 3, 6, and 9 energy frequency and vibration. 9 is unity consciousness. 9 is unity. It is the universal code of 9. It just brings everybody forward, and animals will shift. We will shift. The earth, the ground, the
Mm.
air, the trees, everything is going to shift. Nothing's going to stay the same. And we welcome that newness, because it's essential for where Gaia is going. I mean, Gaia is a living essence. She requires
Yes.
good food, good air, and good water. And we require the same.
Mm-hmm.
Living here on her, she's alive as much as we are. It's not we're on a planet and it's made out of rock and that's the end of the story. It's not. I mean, look at the nature. Look how God has made nature. It's so colorful, so vibrant, but so too are we, so colorful and so vibrant, which allows us, again, to use frequency and vibration to heal ourselves, or to make ourselves better, or put ourselves back into balance. And centuries and centuries ago, all of the ancients, they lived that way. It was common to understand nature, to live outdoors, to do all those things. I mean, we're living in modern times and we're in buildings, which is good and bad, because you're not in nature as much. So we're going to go back to nature more, because that's where the divine is calling.
Yeah, I love going for walks on the beach with my feet in the water and connect and just feel the breeze and inhale that and the beauty all around and just be, you know. And I also want to ask you, a lot of our physical bodies are becoming more light bodies. The physical's turning more energetic. You know, we're
Yes.
still in a physical form, but it's becoming more energetic.
Yes, and that transformation happened for me more than 20 years ago,
Yep.
when I had my gut instinctive calling by heaven, all designed by God,
Yep.
because I certainly wasn't going to follow the path I was on. I
Mm-hmm.
immediately shifted, and I was always prayerful. Thank goodness for that. Even as a child, I did a lot of prayer work. I literally, my background, whatever background that means, my religion is Catholic. So I really wanted to be a nun when I was 5 years old.
Oh,
I
wow.
just felt that. I felt the calling. I felt all of that energy. And I stayed that way my whole life. Prayer is an essential part of my daily living, my daily life. Without prayer, I don't start my day. I won't start my day without prayer. But the whole crux of the universe is going to get more spiritual. We have no choice, because we're literally spiritual beings having a human experience. It's
Yes.
not the other way around.
Yeah.
We are spiritual. Not all of us are really from this planet. Not really from this planet. I mean, I told my parents a long time ago, they were actually not my parents. And they were like, what are you saying? And they were like, well, you look like the rest of us. And I said, you know what? Okay, you are correct. I do look like the rest of us here. I said, so 10% of the biology and chemistry belongs to your genetic pool. Because it's true, I do look like them. The other part, which is the 90%, which they would call the dark matter or don't know what that is of our DNA, all of that 90% is more of who we are than that little 10% of what we're showing up here as. Because the Akashic records, which is our soul's records, are in that 90 percentile of where they don't know what that function is. That is our function. That's all of our history.
Okay. Yeah, that is so true. And prayer is very powerful. And I've always known that, and living in prayer is very, very important too. What I also know is you're right. We're at a evolution point. We're evolving. It's in an evolution plan. It's a bigger plan. A lot of it is still unknown, but it's harmonic. It is so harmonic. I can't even, it's like it's so peaceful and so beautiful. And at a higher frequency and vibration, for some of us, we can hear it, the sound of it. And for me, yeah, the transformation has happened like what you were saying. For me, it was in the corporate world. And I never knew I would be doing this, never in my life, till there was a calling. And then everything in my life fell apart and had to rebuild in a new way, which I'm so thankful for. But I'm also thankful for all the lessons I've learned along the way. So I have the physical experience as well as the spiritual. I think that's a nice balance to have, to know, to help others.
And you're right, Sherry, because here's how God works. Without those experiences of your lifetime, you can't help other souls come to wholeness and completeness within themselves if you have not found that in those areas. So I've noticed that with my clients, there is an energetic match between me and them. Nobody randomly shows up. There are no accidents, no coincidences, no just chance meetings. These are all designed by the universe. Serendipity, and I love serendipity. And there's that place in New York City with serendipity. It's just a beautiful thing. And it's always like a surprise to us as a human, but showing up and witnessing those serendipities, those aha moments, it's an alignment with the soul. It's a confirmation by the divine. Even when you see 1111 or 2222, all those numbers are just letting you know you're on the right path. You are going the right direction. And that's also an energy, a vibration and frequency. So wherever you are vibrating at, that's what's going to be in your field. Whatever you're calling in is going to be part of you. So your thoughts, your emotions, your actions all make up the frequency and vibration of who you are. And as you're going on your journey, you will have interactions with people in those same frequencies because it's the law of vibration, the law of magnetic attraction. These are all brought in because it's more of who we are. So when you start studying and going into sessions of helping one another assist in balance, this comes into play because these things are important to know.
That's true. That is so true. That is so true. I know that people have to understand that it's in the unfoldment on their path of where they are individually, and that it's not about getting it all done. It's just about be where you are and focus on your own path and let yourself evolve where you are. And we're always, if we need help, there's always a teacher. There's always a connection that the universe makes for us to help that person to the next level. When they need their help, or as a teacher guidance to get people to awaken. We are in a humanitarian, we're awakened humanitarian. This is what's happening. It's awakening right now. It has been, but we're at a peak. We're at a higher peak than we were before. And I've also seen in some of the visions that I've had, diamond shaped over the body and colors coming in. And then a new matrix, something that because we're evolving, they had to reconnect something. I had to heal something from the past. I don't know, from a past life, whatever it was, but they reconnected a lot of something to do with the crystalline energies. Even though I work with them, but it also took me to another level. It's like a grid around me connected to the diamond all in there. And I found that just happened recently. So what I'm hearing is that we are going into a whole new level of, there's more than just this universe. A lot of people don't realize that you can travel to other universes, and many of us have. And it's more. And as we keep, I say, reach your goal. Everybody has their goal. So when I get here, I feel like, okay, I got there. And I go, okay, I always ask, because I always like to, about take me beyond that. What's next? What's next? And it's always new. And there's new tools that come in place. There's new tools that come all the time. We have new tools because some of the old tools don't work, because that's where we were and they were perfect. But then we're giving new tools. Like for a long time, we've been told, cutting the cords. I've been taught that way, and that's what I was taught. And then it shifted, and they said we're no longer cutting cords. And then they showed me the oneness of why. So that's where the consciousness was, and where your consciousness was. Now you have shifted. They just showed me to see it as gold light, the cord turning golden, and it will just heal and dissolve it and release in very gentle, elegant way. And that's like a new tool. And I can see it being so gentle, because it says when you cut it, there's still guilt. It doesn't heal it. It just cuts it. And when you can just see the gold light to that person, or what that cord looks like, it releases it right away. And those are the new things. As I always ask, show me more, teach me more. And we are going into new upgrades with our energetic fields. And there's a lot of new energy constantly coming in. I don't know what you've experienced, but this has been really intense for the last couple of years.
Yes, exactly. Like since 1987. But like you had mentioned earlier, so the carbon matter model of the human is really shifted into crystalline light. I mean, our entire spinal cord is made out of crystals.
Yes,
and the frequency of the body is raising, because we are really light vessels, not dense human form. Because even now, the diet is going to change, that you start eating food grown in what? In light. Because we are light beings. Energy and food frequency do work together in our body. If you're eating dense forms of matter in food, it's going to be harder to digest and harder for the body to assimilate, because there's no correlation. It's going back into light. So the lighter you eat, and the foods that are grown in light, the more you can process, the more clear your vessel will be, where you don't have brain fog and you don't have moments of forgetting this or forgetting that. You just feel on top of your game, filled with energy, because the light frequency is an energy. We're all going back to that essence and form of who we are. But as we are, remember, Gaia is also shifting herself that way. So it's a symbiotic relationship between the earth and us. It's not, you're doing yours and you're doing yours. It is as a uniqueness, but a oneness to the whole, because every person here shows up, and their piece is part of the whole. That's like reading a book. You don't want pages missing. We are each the page of the earth's book.
Yep. Oh, this is beautiful, the way you put that. I like how you put that. And we know that all our listeners that will be watching this will really get a lot of information out of this. And I also realize that my diet has changed. I've been yo-yoing, very thin at one time, and then overweight, then thin again and overweight. But this time something was different with the energy shifts. I am eating less food. I'm not recommending that for everybody, but it's for your individual where you are. I'm not hungry. I mean, I'm still eating, but I changed what I'm eating.
You know why, Sherry? Because the soul has different requirements than the ego.
Yeah.
And light energy is not the same as dense matter. One takes a lot more energy to digest and dissolve. When you're eating light, light is light and light is light. So you are eating what you are.
Yes. And it feels better. I feel I'm more focused. I'm more clear now than where I was even a few months ago. And it's only been like 3 weeks where I really made a major shift. but I feel better. And I'm like, I really feel good. I have so much more energy. But I know that as we evolve, we are being asked to make changes in our life, and it's easier for us instead of resisting it.
Yes, and also as the divine feminine comes in more and more these next 1,000 years, we're going to live from a side of ourselves in light with more love, more compassion, more
Yes.
intuition, more
Yes.
peaceful, more calming, more
Yes.
balanced, because it's part of the light, it's part of Gaia, it's part of where we're going. As the
Yes.
crystalline structures of that divine feminine light are filtering through every soul, male or female, that is a human gender thing, but the soul actually doesn't have any of those gender qualities. It is both masculine and feminine, and they're just
Yeah.
going to be more in a balance now and not
Exactly.
out of balance.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really been a major change for many people, for all of us. Some of them may not be aware of it, and some people are more sensitive to it or more aware, but I totally agree. We do have some questions. Would you like to answer some questions that we have? We had some people that had sent me, unless there's something else you'd like to add before we finish, we can definitely go there.
You can bring
We
them
had a couple of people had asked some questions. So what I'd like to do is kind of see your perspective on it and what you're getting. And Beth, who's actually watching us right now from Michigan, her question is, how do we tune into the frequencies that we need?
Well, how you do that is whatever your goal is that your soul desire, to meet that, you start to surround yourself with like frequencies of that quality. You become more positive in your soul. And if negative thoughts come, you shift them quickly to positive. Your affirmations of I am,
Yes.
bringing in a higher light. I am love. I am light. I am peace. I am
Yes.
joy. As you start doing that, you start to shift yourself with intention. And when you shift with intention, the universal law is going to follow you in that whole group setting. And remember, all four of your bodies have to feel where you're going. Because if you just say blank statements, nothing will happen. But if you start saying, I'm going to, just say, for example, eating, I'm going to change my diet. So you start, I'll take that for this, I'll use that for that. As you start putting that out dietarily, but also in your whole physical presence, emotional presence, spiritual presence, and mental presence, everything's going to shift, because that's your intention. And belief is a huge energy. Belief must go along with these, or you will not move. So there's a whole dynamic to becoming a betterment of yourself, which is a great goal, because that's where we're all going, to the higher form, the higher purpose, the higher self, the higher light, the higher love, the higher peace. This is where we are going. So you start, again, if negative thoughts come in and they're continuing to flow, you just say, you know what, I'm going to stop the pattern. I'm going to shift it and start saying positive thoughts. Throw the positive in immediately. It starts to neutralize the negative and starts to bring the positive in, and shifting you more and shifting you more and shifting you more. And it's an ongoing process, because anybody on a spiritual journey is on it for life. It's true. You're on it.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? That's a good thing that you bring up. That was a good question, because I noticed for the last 3 years, we've helped so many people over the years. It was time when COVID hit, reset. Now it's time for you to work on you. You did a lot of work in the beginning of your path, but now it's time to go deeper. That's what had happened. And what I got was, once I started to go back, what my angels and guides were showing me, what I needed to clear or heal from the past to current. We went through phases. One was to do with men, and we healed from the past to the current. And the other one, there was like different phases. And then one had to do with people in my life, current life, heal past to current. Then it had to do with wealth and what was associated with that. And then it went to another level. But what I noticed, that after I went through all those shifts, some of the beliefs came in, and I could not believe some of the things I held. I was shocked. I didn't know unconsciously that it was still there and still connected, not only just in the current that I created, but also from the past carried into the current that had to be cleared. Not everything, but what's needed.
But just
And
think this
yeah,
though, Sherry, when you're on your path, when you're talking about the past, it's not the past of this lifetime, it's the past
no.
of many lifetimes.
Yes, it's
And the
all
soul,
accumulated. Yep, it's
yeah,
all accumulated. They always take me, I always go to the core of where it started, then we heal it from there to current. But what I also notice is that the last month and a half, I've been reprogramming. After I did all that work, I have been reprogramming.
okay.
And it's really has shifted my vibration even higher. And these are things I didn't even know were there, you know?
You don't start to notice they're there until you take a look at the self.
Yeah,
Going
I had to look at
inward.
it. Yeah.
Yes. And we're not taught coming onto the planet to look inward. Your
Yes.
parents would never look inward. They would never say,
Yes.
excuse me, I'm going to go meditate. That didn't happen for that generation. But the
Yeah.
ones coming in now, they are meditating all the time.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, I know the new generation. They're bringing in a whole new way of life
Yes,
and a whole new
intuitive,
perception of life,
very,
the way
very,
they do things. They're not conforming. It's totally different with the new generation. I give them a high five for the changes they came in to bring. Their
exactly.
energy is very high.
They're not going to follow the programming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their
And
divine, their
yeah.
vibration is actually above the programming.
Yes, it is. And people don't understand that. They think they need to be this way, but they already came in. They're aware. They're
Oh,
going in their
yes.
path
Yes, and their eyes are wide open. I mean, newborns are being born, their eyes are wide open.
yes,
They're not
exactly.
sleeping the way they used to come in and just be sleeping for a long time. No, the eyes are wide open. They're alert, they're aware, and they're on it. And pretty soon they will come in because we are the only species on this planet where our babies do not function.
Oh wow.
Look at a
Wow.
baby horse. I mean, it runs with the mother within minutes. A baby dolphin is with the mother and swimming immediately. We don't walk and talk for almost a year.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's going to shift though, because as our DNA goes into more
Yep.
higher light frequencies,
Yep.
the ability of the vessel we're in will be higher light, higher intuition.
Higher evolved. Yeah.
Very much so.
Oh, that is so cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. You're such a fun guest. I really love the conversation is pretty intense and knowledgeable and channeled and everything.
Because it's an honor to be on the planet, period. Even
Exactly, it is
though rough.
at this time, and to be a part of it.
But I also thank people like you
Yeah.
for being open-minded and willing to go along with and having guests on your show that can bring light to people to help them in betterment.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People are needing. They're seeking right now,
Yeah.
and then whatever they get from who they get it from, they're going to need. And they're guided to that. And I think it's great. Yeah, I think the information is important to get out there. And I have another question, and it's from Susan from Florida. And her question is, can you share about white light healing? She wants to know, what do you want to share about?
White light is everywhere, but it's
Yep.
also a pure light, and everyone has access to white light healing. Everyone. It's not just distinct for certain people or certain kinds of people. I mean, a lot of healers use it, a lot of shamans use it, a lot of people use it. But it's literally available from the universe, because it is the universe. And you're just calling that frequency in to cleanse the soul, to cleanse your aura, to cleanse your emotions. A lot of white light frequencies used by any means. Also, the consciousness of the person using it on you and your consciousness as a client also matters.
That's true.
Yes, because if you carry a certain frequency and a level of awareness, and so does the client. So somewhere in the middle, it has to be a meeting, because you cannot give what is not present when the person is unaware.
That's so true. Wow. I have one more question, and it's by Jan Curry from Florida. And her question is, does everyone have, whoops, my phone just kind of, does everyone have an old soul with many past lives, or is it a gift from the spirit?
We all are old souls.
Yeah.
We all have many past lives. And
Yeah.
as we go on this journey now, what's happening is in certain frequencies, again, with the frequency, energy, and vibration, when you hit certain frequencies in your journey, energetic codes open up within you, light codes, ancient wisdom, all going to come out to the surface for betterment for yourself and for
Yep.
humanity, because we
Yep.
are laying roadmaps. Yeshua, who was the very,
Yes.
very prominent in truth,
Yep.
laid the tracks for that whole template of being in truth, living that journey. He had such a big journey here and was able to absolve a lot of things, but it caused a division when he came. That division is very present today because truth is going to prevail. That is who we are, that is what we are, and that is a level of the divine that is going to be made more and more prominent on this planet, because in a world of transitioning and transforming, you will not be able to lie, because truth runs a vibration that doesn't allow a lie. So
Yeah, that's so true.
And that's right. And as more light comes in, you will start to see things that were in the dark that are now being brought to light, because truth is going to prosper.
Yes, and it will. Absolutely. It absolutely will. I just want to say thank you, Susan, for answering all these beautiful questions and participating with getting the information out there and sharing it with the world. And if you don't mind, stay on in the studio even after we end the broadcast.
Absolutely.
We just want to say, for anyone that wants to get a hold of Susan, the information's on the bottom, but you can also go to the website, www.sherrylord.com, SHERRYLORD, and then click on the podcast tab, and you'll see Susan, and you'll see all the upcoming guests coming. If you want to get a hold of Susan, her phone number is there too. But how can people get a hold of you, Susan?
Well, they can go to my website, which is www.susangchamberlain.com.
Yep.
Very
Yep.
simple.
Thank you. And I believe on the website, your phone number is there too. We're not going to give it out here, but they can go to the website to get your phone number too. And you can get a hold of Susan. She's a fabulous reader. I'm telling you, she was fully booked both days. And it was amazing watching her constantly. And she was a gift to many is the feedback I got. And they really appreciated the information she gave them and helped them on their path. So we just want to say we'll see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Please share this with your friends and join us next week and bring your questions and chat. We have a Paula Reeves joining in right now. Just want to say hello to Paula as we're ending the broadcast.
Hi, Paula.
Yep, and they can rewatch it again on Facebook pages. You're going to be sharing it. I'll be sending you a link. That's why I need you to stay in the studio. And we just want to say thank you for joining us, everyone, and thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you.